So we are going to, in our simple two-period permanent income model, we are going to look at two changes and see what happens. First, we are looking at an increase in income, and then we look at an increase in the interest rate. And for income, we are going to make a distinction between a temporary increase in income and a permanent increase in income. Now, if you have understood the permanent income hypothesis, you should know already the difference between an increase in income that is temporary and an increase in income that is permanent. If the increase in income is temporary, what is going to happen? Well, consumption is not going to react a lot, because consumption only reacts to permanent income changes. So what is going to happen? An increase in income is going to be saved for pocket. Now, on the other hand, if the increase in income is permanent, by permanent we mean that it happens for today and tomorrow, then consumption is going to be increased. Because consumption reacts to permanent changes in income rather than to transitory changes in income.
What is it that means expectation?
We don't talk about expectations yet. We talk about expectations later on. But I mean, it's going to be the same story. If you expect an income change, now we're talking about uncertain case, and you're not sure about it, but you expect income increases. If you expect an income increase that is temporary, and you're going to save an important part of it, but if you expect an income increase to be permanent, you're going to increase your consumption by a lot. The story is basically the same. Now, temporary income changes, consumption today, consumption tomorrow. We start from the situation where your optimum is equal to your endowment point. So you get I1 today and I2 tomorrow. You are at the optimum, so you assume that you consume every period, you consume what you earn in this situation. So the optimum is equal to the endowment point. That's just an assumption to illustrate what happens. Well, if income changes today only, so if it's only a temporary increase in income, you go from I1 to I1, how do you call it? Prime. You go from I1 to I1 prime. So what do you see? Well, you end up in this endowment point, but your optimum is here. So what are you going to do? You are going to consume more, but you also consume more tomorrow. You consume more today and you consume more tomorrow. That means that you have saved part of your income increase. Why have you saved? Because the income increase is only temporary and you want to smooth your consumption over time. What happens if the income increase is permanent? Well, if the income increase is permanent, you go from I1 to I1 prime today, but you also go from I2 to I2 prime tomorrow. So you have a permanent income increase. Now you end up in this situation where you can see that you are back at an equality between your optimum, your new optimum, and your new endowment point. So what's happened? Basically, you have consumed the full income increase today, and you have consumed tomorrow's full income increase as well. So basically, you haven't saved anything. You have just increased your consumption in both periods by the amount of your permanent income. So, permanent income hypothesis implies consumption smoothing with respect to temporary income changes. If you have a temporary income change, you use saving to smooth your consumption. But if your income change is permanent, you just change your consumption. Because consumption follows permanent income. So temporary means going from R to R prime, and permanent means going from R to R double prime. Now, this is easy. A bit more complicated is what you have when you have an interest rate change. Let's take the example of an interest rate increase. Now, we have talked before the break about what happens if interest rate increases. And basically that was substitution effect. It's an intertemporal model, so it's intertemporal substitution. What did you see? it's interesting for this ratio to increase. Because if interest rate increases, you are going to save more, take advantage of the higher interest rate. That means that you consume less today, and you can consume more tomorrow. So when the interest rate increases, the ratio C2 over C1 goes up. That we know for sure. And the strength of this effect was measured by the intertemporal elasticity of substitution. So this is intertemporal substitution. That's a substitution. So the ratio of C2 over C1 increases. Now, what actually happens to C2 or C1, the levels instead of the ratio, is harder because let's take a look at period 1 consumption. Now, what happens here if the interest rate changes? Well, here, of course, you have the substitution effect, which tells you that if the interest rate increases, C1 goes down, but you also have to take into account the possible income effect. So substitution effect, basically, when looking at the levels instead of the ratio, if the interest rate goes up, C1 goes down, because you want to save, you consume less today, so you can consume more tomorrow, that we know, but you also have an income effect. Now,